Well, it's that time of the month again when we're here with Jan McNeilan from the retired OSU Extension, and we're going to be talking about the tips this month, and there's quite a lot of interesting things here, so why don't we just start?
Just a few. I guess my most exciting thing is we were gone on vacation for a week and came home to my first zucchini.
Woohoo! And tomatoes!
And tomatoes.
Nice.
Yes, actually, so the garden's looking pretty good.
And it has been a late year, but they're still kicking in finally.
Oh yeah, we'll still have plenty. So we came into the greenhouse today because it's thunder and lightning out there.
It's
and right
a summertime
now it's
storm, isn't it?
A welcome rain for sure.
And speaking of rain, we've got some watering tips that are really interesting.
Well, if you have a pot that's gotten really, really dry, it's going to pull away from the sides. And when you water it, then the water's just going to flood out the bottom. And you're going to think you've got it, but you haven't. Mm-hmm. So if you see that it's pulled away from the sides, soak it or set the pot itself in water and let it soak up from the bottom. And then check the top to make sure that it's gone all the way up to the top. But this one is not super dry, but it's plenty dry. And what I would do is I would water this and let it and go do something else or water some others and then come back and hit it again. And then check it and see.
Because you know, when it's 90 degrees out, it's really hard to overwater that plant.
Yes,
so,
well, especially
in the
fuchsias.
containers.
Yeah, well, too, any kind of container. The other tip just for fuchsias, really, or any kind of flower that hummingbirds go after. If you've got cats outside in your neighborhood, or you have cats, and trim up those kind of blossoms from the ground level so that the cats aren't looking for a meal right there.
Yeah, you don't want it to be a little little food service there for the cats.
You don't want those hummingbirds to get there. This is just an example. I brought it in from my kitchen. We have skylights now in the kitchen, and we always tell people how much light plants need.
Sure.
Believe it. You know, when we say they need a lot of light, they do. I've had this plant, and it was very small for like 30 years. Got the skylights in the kitchen. It's growing, looks good, and is actually blooming, and I'm just thrilled.
And it's a lovely bloom. Yep.
Yeah. So it really needed what I thought it did. I just never had that kind of light to provide it before.
And one of the things you said, Jan, that I think a lot of us forget about with houseplants is this is in your kitchen, but in any part of the house, you do need to remember to clean the leaves because they get clogged.
Well, this gets kind of, it's a slick leaf anyway, and it gets kind of oily in the kitchen, so I keep it nice and shiny because I'm real proud of it now that it's blooming. Maybe one last thing. This is kind of a fun, it's a seed that came from Brazil. It's an araucaria monkey puzzle tree. It's a relative of the monkey puzzle. Some neighbors, next door neighbors, are from Brazil, and he brought some seeds back. And they're going to put in a new landscape, and hopefully this will live long enough for us to put it in, and it should do well.
It's really great when you can get seeds and starts from other places, and they grow, and these actually will live here. We have some big specimens around the Portland area of them.
We do.
Well, as always, Jan, it's always fun chatting with you, getting those tips. Remember to get out in your garden, check that watering. Don't feed the cats unless it's cat food. And thanks again. We'll talk to you next month.
All right.